for the serious gamer.
Masturbator, yes, it's time for Claymore, C4s, and combination of these creamy delights in Invasion. I'll show you where to place them so you can blow the shit out of your enemies. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good.
Alright, so the first few Claymores I'm going to show you are going to be predominantly for defense. And this one here, like I didn't place it, but you can place one across here. The problem is they either will run through the opening or jump over. So it's kind of hard to tell where exactly to place it, and you kind of a crapshoot. I mean, you put it down and you hope that it gets killed. The one on the corner there is actually really good, even if you're sniping from that corner. Because if for whatever reason you have to pull away from that corner to go through the center or support B, then at least your flank is protected and no one's going to sneak up on you. Now the one I showed you in there is a well-known Claymore, but still works, still is effective. But you might want to switch it up once in a while. Put the one on the outside. You can't really see it, still very effective. Make sure that first laser line is going straight across the doorway and the blast is actually angled out. That's very important. This Claymore there is also very effective if they're trying to come and rush in from the outside to A. That one's going to work very well, and it's not well seen. It's kind of hard to see. And this one, again, these Claymores have to be placed very quickly. You need to rush and place them there, especially if the offense team are aggressive. You're going to need to place it quickly and then get out of there. Now this one here, you can place it in the corner, but I prefer to actually place it from the back from the tank, because they're going to try and sneak around here, either going to flank through the alleyway or straight through. If they throw a stun, yeah, you know, I mean, if they throw a stun, it's useless. If they have sit rep pro, it's useless. But we're not talking about that. We're just talking about general Claymore placements here. And of course, that one's going to prevent anyone that's originally going to be and decides, you know what, it's a little too hot and hairy in there, so I'm going to try and duck through here and attack A from the side. These are also actually very good. If you have one-man army, you can pretty much hold down this whole area here by placing 2 Claymores on that side and then stick back, which will free up your team basically. And you don't have to worry about, as long as you've got 5, especially if you're in a random team, hopefully, you know, 5 random players can actually get their shit together and protect A, which doesn't always work out, but nonetheless. The other way you can do is put a Claymore in the back here, protect your flank. First one you do, then put a Claymore on the right side of that tank there, and then just sit sort of behind that fence line and cover the left side of the tank. And that way you can sort of shut down B all by yourself. And just as I said before, hopefully the dipwads on the other team there, unless it's your clan, then don't call them dipwads. I mean, I don't know, maybe they are, but it doesn't really matter. You know, hopefully they can take care of that. And there's always going to be people that come the other side. You know, so you're not going to be alone, but at least don't rely on them, especially if you're in a random game. Don't rely. I've learned that I never rely on my teammates unless they're from my clan. Now this one here, obviously, again, you're on offense, but there's always those people that love to rush from defense. And quite frankly, I think it's stupid, because if they're rushing on defense and I'm playing, I'm going to put Claymores and cream pies and cupcakes all over the damn place. And one of them is going to get it right in their ass. So, I mean, just be smart. I mean, go carefully. Like, I'm not saying don't be aggressive on defense once in a while, but if you're going to do that, like, you should probably have sit rep, because if the offense team is not rushing, chances are they're doing what I just did, which is placing Claymores down. And if you're going to proceed through there, you're definitely going to need sit rep. If you ever see my name in any game, no matter what you're playing, and you're going to come after me, I would highly recommend that you have sit rep, because I promise you I'll be putting down Claymores coming out my wazoo, and I won't stop. So again, I mean, just showing you some Claymores that I'm placing. You know, generally they don't see it. That one there is actually fairly effective, because they don't see it till they come out through there. They're not generally looking for a Claymore right there. They're usually expecting the Claymore in the inside here. So that one facing it just as they're coming through is actually very effective. And this one's more of a defense. Even though I'm showing you it as a defense, it's actually effective for offense. Once you plant it, make sure the bomb is planted on that side where the Claymore is facing. Because if there's defensive players and say they're at B, they're going to come around that corner. They're generally not going to look there. And that one there is actually very effective as well on the corner of the vehicle. They're not going to see that. But then again, make sure that you plant that Claymore on the proper side. And that one near the vehicle, all you got to do is put it across the corner, and it's going to utilize the vehicle as a secondary explosion and really increase the blast radius there. So keep that one in mind, definitely, definitely. Now here's one, if you're proceeding to B on offense and you want to sort of protect your flank from anyone that was maybe on defense at A and they're going to try and come that way, put one on the rear. I've got many kills from that one there, and obviously this was one that you're going to want to put down. This one's very effective regardless as to whether or not it's used a lot. Once the bomb is planted at B, usually what happens is the defensive team from A comes barreling through, and sometimes they don't always check for Claymore, so it still is very effective. Now here's a C4 placement. Of course, you want to place the bomb there and utilize the ceiling. Put the C4 on the ceiling, move to some distance that's safe. I usually recommend going over on this side there where you can actually see to the right, where you can hop up in there, and all you have to do is be able to listen. As long as you can hear someone going near that B, even if they're trying to trick you, you know, like doing the quick open and then hiding, doesn't matter. The second you hear that briefcase open, trigger it, boom, they're dead. Now here's a very effective one as well. Like I said, most people will place C4 on the bomb. When you have stuff like this, like cars or anything nearby, utilize them. The one right there on the wheel is actually very effective because the grass covers it. Make sure you plant on that side though. You want to plant on the side where the actual C4 is, and then it'll take care of business for you. I think we're going to be going into combinations here. Now, this combination is actually good if the defense team is aggressive and they come hunting through here. And sometimes when you place a Claymore here, they'll actually trigger it. If they have Marathon Pro and Lightweight Pro, sometimes they can just bolt right through there and you'll only get a hit marker. However, if you place C4 in the door frame here, which they will not see, no one looks in the top door frame. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? Why place it there? The time they're out of or within that blast radius and it effectively doubles it, it's a chain reaction, and they're pretty much toast on this one. And this one I actually like. I think this one's kind of funny. This one's more of a defense one. So you got to do this quick, and if you can't do it quick, then you're going to need to do it with a teammate. Because really you don't have time to be placing that, especially if the offense team is aggressive. So you're going to have one dude go in, place this C4 that I'm going to show you right now, and then you're going to place the Claymore in the doorway. But you want it obvious. The Claymore is purposely set back far enough so that it doesn't trigger. I mean, if it triggers, great. It'll kill them anyway, but you want them to shoot it, but they will not see that C4, and effectively that distance where they think is safe is not safe anymore. And here's an example when you're setting up for defense. This is a defensive play. I mean, if you get in there fast enough with offense and you have someone else that you can do this with, then that's fine, it'll work. But generally, this is a defensive maneuver. What you want to do is either you can do a Claymore and a C4, which, you know, the Claymore is only directional. So if all of a sudden these guys get past that first Claymore, the C4 in it will actually extend the blast radius because the C4 is not directional. I mean, it goes up, it blasts up, but it's sort of 360 blast radius around it. So it's not limited that way. Another way, a trick that you can use, which I just mentioned, and I like using this one here, is the double directional Claymore. So sometimes Marathon and Lightweight will bypass this, but this dual direction one will snag them in the end. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. For more strategies and tactics on Modern Warfare 2, visit nextgentactics.com.